Okay, hello everyone. This is Game Explorer, and today I want to talk about the Boo update. As you can see, we've completed it. We have the hat, we have the visor, and we have the shelter. So stage 1 is the hat, stage 2 is the visor, and stage 3 is the shelter. I want to talk about all the tricks you need to know to get all the treats. Crank out the iron pretty quick. I didn't know a lot of this stuff I'm going to talk about, and it really slowed me down. So having all these tricks will hopefully help you complete the event and complete it quite a bit faster than I did, even if you're already in phase 2 or even stage 3 of this. These tips, a lot of these tips are still going to apply. And what I want to start with is probably the biggest tip, and that is the cauldron plant, which is what you're going to need to complete the event. They are all over the place. I don't know if I can see any more. I've already dug up 2. Actually, I think there's one over here. As you might have already noticed, the 2 over here at my base are not in the original position. No, I don't see any more. Okay, there's one out there. We'll fly over here real quick. You can move your base to the cauldron plant. As you can tell, it's hostile. It just fired at me. But a better idea is to dig up the cauldron plant and move it to your base. It still functions just fine, so it won't explode, or it's still quite functional. But I was in stage 3 before I even realized I could do that. A bigger tip maybe for you: this separates, and you can turn around and put this let me move over here. Oh, not you. You can put this on another platform. Come on. Maybe I should have moved you first before I did this. Come here. So there you go. You can attach that to a tier 4 slot. Or it's a tier 3 slot, isn't it? And then, so in theory, you could line up these guys and then feed them spooky squash or any of the stage ingredients to make your biofuel. Now, another tip here is that you can grab a packager, put it on your cauldron plant, and look at that. Now what do you think you can do with this? You can take it home. You don't have to do this event here on Aatrox. And there's some really good reasons why you don't want to do your event on Aatrox. I've unlocked RTGs, but if you have not unlocked RTGs, you're going to find it difficult to get power out here on Aatrox. There is very little wind, and it's so overcast you don't even get great power here with the solar panels. So you'll find it a little bit easier, certainly if you don't have a really big base on Aatrox, and I didn't. I end up moving quite a bit of my base from another planet on Glacio over here. But you can instead take the event to your home planet. Now, yeah, I get it. This is a Halloween update, and Aatrox is spooky, and it kind of fits the theme. But if you're interested in just getting done with this, you might find it a lot easier to do this event on whatever planet you have the most resources and the biggest base and the most power on. So, yeah, do that. Package up your cauldron plant. Now, you're going to need some other things. You're going to need, well, let me look at my notes here, make sure I'm doing this in the right order. Well, another reason why you don't want to do this on Aatrox And we just saw it when I did the flyover of that other cauldron geoplant. It's very hostile. I've died on this planet. Oh my goodness, he got me. And I died with a backpack full of hydrazine, so it was a nice big crater. So, just given how hostile this planet is, you might find it easier to do on another planet like Silva or Glacio, or actually any planet, to tell you the truth. This is the least hospitable planet. Not saying you can't do it here, but it's the least hospitable. And I did the entire event here, as you can see. I even brought over some lighting equipment, or made the lighting equipment here, so that I could shoot these videos when it's nice, when it's gloomy, and still have plenty of light to show what's going on. Seeds. So there's 3 stages of this event. The first stage will allow you to get the pumpkin hat. You can see I have it on my head. You have to do these in order, so no fair skipping around. The first thing you're going to need is spooky seeds. See, I got some there. You'll need spooky squash. And I had a lot of trouble finding the spooky squash, so let me show you where they are. See here, this is a valley. This is the only place you're going to find spooky squash. So I've dug up quite a bit here, but look at this. This is where you're going to find it. You got to get down in the valley to get your spooky squash. What you do is you just dig up a bunch of them. Grab the seeds. I mean, you can grab the spooky squash. This is what you actually need for the event. But truthfully, the seeds are going to be more important to you. And I'll tell you why. Let me fly back to base and I'll tell you why. But you're going to want to grab those seeds, okay? The spooky squash is just a nice bonus. But grab at least 10 seeds. Grab and then just go back to your base. Maybe another undocumented tip. Jetpacks are not recommended. Because you're carrying hydrazine. And hydrogene's explosive. And if you get hit in the right place by one of these plants that launch at you, your whole backpack will explode and you'll die. So it's a one-shot kill. Alright, so why you want the seeds? You want the seeds because you can plant these seeds instead of processing. Well, you're going to need the spooky squash samples to process. But what I do is, you can see this auto arm. If you want to know how to automate, watch one of my other videos. I won't go into great detail on how to do that. Watch the one that says pretty automation. That's this whole setup right here at work. So what I like to do is you put all your seeds in a really tight grouping, and you're going to want to put, like I said, maybe 10 of them, and then you plant. So you can see you have to move them to put them in a plant position, and then you plant them. And these things grow extremely fast, maybe 15 seconds, and they're ready to be harvested. Just wait before they get to their full size and you're not seeing them grow anymore. And you can imagine what's going to happen. But we're going to do it anyway. So now that these are grown, I'm just going to, a very small dig. You don't have to have a huge dig there, just a very small dig. You see all the seeds I have? I only had 4 seeds, right, to begin with. Now I have quite a few more. 3, 4, there's at least 6 seeds here. So I can now, if I only had 4 seeds to start with, now I can plant 6 seeds, right? The auto arm's doing its thing. Bringing it over the cauldron plant. You can see all the automations working. So the idea is that you dig the hole, you get them out, you fill the hole back in, and then you replant right there in that circle again. And you could have a whole line of these auto arms right next to each other with a whole line of spooky squash, and just come running through here digging them up. And it'll be great. It'll work just fine. That'll be a very, very fast way to complete phase 1. Now for phase 2, you need... Oh, sorry, wrong seed. For phase 2, you're going to need the volatile Attactus seed. And let me show you what the plant looks like. Actually, let me grab some hydrazine, and then I'll show you what the plant looks like so that we don't fall out of the sky. Okay, where's my hydrazine? There's some hydrazine. And we'll fly over here. Nice, it's daylight. I think we saw... There's a hydration plant. Although I think I already dug him up. I did. Is there another one over here? Thought we saw one over here. Okay. Right here. Right here, so the Attactus plant's in the middle there. It's the one that will shoot at you. The one with the big red flower. We land over here. It's that guy right there. You'll want to be real careful digging up all this stuff. Everything in here wants to beat you up or kill you. So you're going to want to dig him up, get his seeds, but don't go around the planet doing that. Okay, just grab a few, come back to your base, and do exactly what we just did with the spooky squash. Start planting them. Plant a bunch of them. Plant them right there in the circle. This is why I had my second auto arm over here, because I would do the spooky squash here for phase 2, and then I would do the Attactus seeds right here. And as you see, this is a stage 3 seed, but it's the same idea. You just plant them in a big circle here, harvest them. The only trick here is that you actually need the seeds for to process into biofuel instead of a sample. Like this is the spooky squash sample. You'll need the Attactus seed to process. So that auto arm is going to start grabbing your seeds, and you're going to need to pull back enough of them to replant. So don't go making a bunch of the Attapetral and not remember to grab some of these seeds, or you're going to have to go find some more. So I did that, so not the end of the world, but just another tip. Pull back some seeds. Another thing that it worked really well with stage 3, but I think it would work well in stage 2 as well, is that you need 120 Attapetral. You need, for stage 1, you need 160 of the squasholine. And for stage 3, you need, is it 80? I think it's 80 of the Noxophane, which comes from this elegant spewfire. Make all of your seeds, put them in storage. Don't let them sit around. If you have, like, say I had this seed right here, and it's been sitting on this container for a couple of in-game days, but if I just drop it, no, I didn't drop it, did it? I tried to plant it. But if I just, say, drop it like that, or if I dug it up and let it sit there just like that, it will despawn in about 5 minutes. I've done that. I did that with an entire crop, if you will, and had to go find some more because I had lost the whole thing. You need to put them in a position where you can see there where I can plant the seed. I can press Y and hold it, and it'll plant the seed. If you don't have it in that position, it will despawn, and that's terrible. Then you got to go find some more. It's really terrible if you do it with the spew flowers. The spew flowers are rare. They're harder to find, and what's worse is when you dig them up, you will get one seed. Actually, in the wild, you may not even get one seed. You're going to have to dig up a few of these to even get one seed. Get rid of this giant plant in our way. Maybe. And you'll want to come back with a few, just like the others. Come back with a few seeds. They take a while to find. They're not with the cluster of plants around the cauldron. So you find them, dig them up, grab a few, and then you need to take those back to the base and do the same thing. However, your spawn rate is not guaranteed to be at least 2 seeds like it is for the spooky squash and the Attactus plants. So this is going to take a lot longer. So it's even more important. What I did is I I created a huge area here. I did the whole area with elegant spew flowers, and I kept a lot of storage, kept 3 medium storages right in this area, and every time I dug them up, I'd put them all on the storage, and then put another. I had 3 of these bins sitting side by side. That's 72 of the 80, and then I had some in my backpack, and that was it. And that's what I needed to complete the event. But with the spew flowers, if you plant 10 of them and dig them up, you might get 15 seeds if you're lucky, but more than likely you're going to get 13. I put in 5 in the ground before, and I dug up 5, and it's frustrating. It takes a long time to get to 80. So by mass planting, creating a huge crop, dig them up, immediately start putting them in the containers, because like I said, they will despawn on you. So you need to be, I wouldn't say you have to be lightning fast, but you don't want to go do something else, come back, and then expect to be able to grab them all. It just won't happen. You could plant them all in a row with, say, 3 or 4 of these auto arms, and then the auto arms will just pick them up for you. That's fine. That would probably even be better. Do something like that. Anyway, that's how you get all of them. And I've already touched on this. You can watch other videos on, what it takes to create each one for each phase. The squashaline, the Attactus, and the Noxophane. So, I think that's enough about the seeds. So the auto arms, just real quickly. Okay, so here's the auto arm. I believe it was 750 bytes to unlock this. It takes 1 aluminum and 1 graphite. So if you are going to Atrox, make sure you grab several aluminum, several graphite. If you're on your home planet, hopefully you already have quite a bit of this stuff. So you want to grab the auto arms, and the way they work is the green circle here on my left is the pickup, the blue circle on my right is the drop-off. So if you put something in there, it will, as we saw with the spooky squash samples, it'll pick up out of the green, move it to the blue. This is a real time saver. It's worth setting this up. I think I set it up, at least this version of it, most of the way through stage 2, and there's a video on that where I talk about how it probably would have been faster just to do it manually, at least at the point where I only needed like 39 or something like that out of petrol to finish it. However, it did speed up quite a bit the last stage. I think it's worth doing. I don't think you need anything super elaborate. What I have here I think is plenty elaborate, and you could even go quite a bit simpler than this, at least for the stage 1. You're going to need 2 sets of auto arms for stage 2, because you need 2 different types of resource to make the stage 2 and stage 3 items. Then you just take it all the way to the end here where you put it on the rocket. I tried and tried and tried. You cannot, I don't think you can auto launch this rocket. I tried with a button repeater. I tried with the storage sensor. It doesn't work. It's not something you turn on and off like a work light or a smelter or something like that. So it just doesn't work. Something else you'll notice, as you're submitting these, you can submit 8 at a time, go up, come back. That's 20 trips on stage 1 because there's 160. You'll get care packages. And care packages is when the rocket comes back, there's just stuff sitting on the rocket. It could be work lights, floodlights. I've received nanocarbon alloy, titanium alloy, diamond, just different things that it will send to you. So I even put in my first video when I did this that this must be a bug, because I felt like my auto arm just grabbed something out of nowhere and put it on the rocket, because it does auto feed the rocket. And I was like, that must have happened somewhere, or it bugged out on me. But that was care package. And care package is just something that SES is rewarding us with for continuing the event. So anyway, keep an eye on it, because I've launched a few rockets that had care packages on them back up to the station, and it took up space. So okay. So that's enough about automation. How long does it take to complete? I was shooting videos while I was doing this. I would say I took somewhere between 8 and 10 hours. probably leaning closer to 10. People on Discord have talked about how they did it in 6. And that's certainly doable. With automation, absolutely doable in 6 hours. You don't have to do it with automation. It's just a whole lot of repetition with clicking. If you were to mass farm all of your seeds here and have them in huge silos, you could start the automation, make sure it's working, have a couple silos over here just to catch all your biofuel that you're making. Or in the case of squashulene, you might need several. You know, this holds 24, so what, you need 8 of them. You have 8 of them over here with a couple auto arms feeding them, or 3 auto arms, whatever. You could literally set it up and walk away, come back in an hour, and start launching your rocket over and over again to get your reward. So it doesn't require the constant attention. So if that constant grind gets to you, just do all the planting, have a bunch of storage items, maybe put a large silo B. Where's my large silo B? I think I have one over here on the rocket. That's a large silo B. The large silo B will hold 12 tier 2 items, so you could put 12 medium storage silos on it like this and just go to town, just loading it up with materials, and then walk away while it makes all of the materials come back, make all your Attactus seeds, and make some more squashulene, or some more of your spooky squash samples, and do the same thing over and over again, and that would save you a lot of time. That did help me, especially towards the end. I was really getting worn out trying to do this, so it really helped with the elegant spew flowers for me to mass plant everything. I had everything, or like I told you before, I had everything done, put them on storage silos, and just let the thing work, and I walked away for a while. That's it. I think that's all the tips I have for you. I think I've talked about all the mistakes I made. Certainly, I think the biggest tip is move your cauldron plant to your base. Don't bring your base to your plant. And then you can make it all nice and pretty around it and not just totally dug up where all the plants were before. Alright, I'm going to end the stream, edit this, get it out on YouTube. This is Game Explorer out here on Twitch, Game_Explorer_official. And on YouTube, Game Explorer, you'll need to look for Astroneer as well because of similar names out there. Alright, that's it. Come get your gear. Looks like this. It's really cool. Looks like this. Really cool. If you play these events enough, which I don't, but I did play last year on Halloween, and I got a really cool visor that I like. I'm going to show it to you real quick, just so you can see kind of the other stuff you can get. It's called Pumpkin. Look at that. Isn't he cool? I like him too. Play the events. Get some really cool items. Alright, we'll talk to you soon.